In this video, we are going to walk through a use case in terms of how a recruiter or a staffing company uh, helps identify a vendor network of a large company and vice versa, so as to be able to reach out and create opportunities better for themselves or their clients. This is part of six series of six use cases where we showcase how recruiters use the Symmetrics platform to help build loyalty with the candidates and employers, but more importantly, make a match. Basically, complete the job transaction which the candidate is looking for and which the employer is ready to hire for. Before we get into the details, let's take a quick look of the Symmetrics platform. It's a unique HR tech and analytics platform unifying job seekers, recruiters, and employers. Um, Helps bring harmony between candidates, recruiters, and staffers and employers. Candidates from a perspective of job seeking, recruiters and staffers from job matching, and employers from retention and making a fair deal. Um, Symmetrics is a benchmarking platform, has trustworthy benchmark and analytics for all three roles, as we just mentioned, helps accelerate talent access and mobility, and it integrates with course providers, assessment platforms, and job boards, and ultimately helps make career choices as well. Feel free to go ahead and log in if you have an account with Symmetrics.fyi. If not, go ahead and register. It's free. For any other inquiries, feel free to write an email to hello@symmetrics.fi. A quick note of how the reports are organized from one view. They are organized as categories and subcategories. On the left, you see here informational, what if, and goal based. You have further categories like industry, job, family, and miscellaneous, and under each of those, you have subcategories. Um, all right, with that said, let's jump into the use case. The use case is how does a staffing company, as they reach out to create sales leads, build more relationships with other networks, how is it able to identify the vendor network of a large company? In this case, we will take an example of a very large firm and then identify all of the vendors of the large firm. And at the end of it, we will reverse or inverse the use case and see how a company um, has built its network and looking at it from the other direction. So let's jump in right into the network. So what you can see here is, let's first look at the client employer. Client in this case refers to the end entity where the job is actually located. The employer refers to the employer who on whose payroll the employee is working on. Now, as we can know, there is a the relationships can extend in both directions, and the chain of entities that have contracting relationships can have varying degrees. Like, there could be an entity X having a relationship with Y, having a relationship with Z. An employee could be working for X, however, serving Y and ultimately Z, and maybe working at Z's location, right? So let's take a quick look at this. It is a very simple tabular report. As you can see, what we are looking at here is, in the year 2022, Apple Inc. Actually has employees from any of these employers, Tata Consultancy, Wipro, and this represents the number of employees or the contractors that are working in Apple Inc. As you can scroll down, you can download this list, obviously. And so now, as a potential recruiter or staffer, let's say you want to you're looking for Apple Inc. as your potential client. One way is to directly reach out to Apple, right? The chances are that you might not get a response because identifying and forming a relationship takes a very large time. Instead, you could also go with the secondary relationship, which is the employer. You could reach out to any of these employers because they already have an existing master contract or a relationship with Apple, and so you could work with these clients as a baby step and then move forward from there. Okay, so in this way you can keep on expanding your client base, and any one client becoming your becoming forming your network can become very valuable depending on where um, your goals, what your capacity is, and how many candidates you have that you want to fill in, right? Okay, so that's quickly of how you can look at the client employer. Now let's look at the other way around. Okay, employer and a client. Now, let's say you're working with Tata Consultancy Services. You also want to know what all clients does Tata Consultancy Services work with, so that you know the scope with which you can work with Tata Consultancy Services, right? So, in this case, let's just take Cognizant Technologies. So if you look at Cognizant Technology Solutions US Group, they work with any of these clients, right? They're working with Metropolitan Life Insurance Company, they're working with 3M, Kaiser Permanente, Apple, yeah, Humana, CVS, Capital One Services, and so on and so forth, right? So what you're essentially looking at is, if you want to expand your relationships um, with any of these companies, you could as well reach out to all of them, or you could as well work with Cognizant, and in turn they already have an existing relationship, which might accelerate your lead engagement and development. So this gives you a very good overview of how you can expand your network as a staffing company, and how you can continuously increase your candidate database. All right. So that's the use case here. Thank you for watching.